Hello, nerds. Brandon here.
With Jimmy.
And it is the holidays, and as a nice little gift, we got just a little bit of Star Wars news because it's been a little slow going here.
Very slow
yeah,
going,
very,
very
very
dry.
slow going.
Thank you, Ahsoka, for tiding us over.
Yeah, exactly. But with the talk of the new Rey movie, it seems that Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver are both kind of being questioned about certain things with Star Wars, and they're giving us information that I feel that we already knew.
Yeah,
They're just kind of going over it again.
they're confirming it for sure. Like, oh my goodness, Lucasfilm didn't have a plan.
Which is like,
oh, shocker!
I'm gonna be honest. When the sequel came out, I was like, it's very clear they have no fucking idea what they're doing. And then when the third one came out, it's like, well, we really bobbled that one.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was so disappointing because when The Force Awakens came out, there was a lot of excitement, and to go see that in the theater. And I'm not saying it was the greatest movie ever made, but to me, I left more positive after that than I did after Phantom Menace. So I was like, okay,
you see, I gotta
we can
breathe
go
here.
somewhere.
I gotta breathe here for a second because I already know everybody's just gonna fucking lose their shit in the comments. So like, listen. With Star Wars, I feel that the good outweighs the bad.
Oh yeah.
Do I think the last three are the greatest Star Wars movies ever made? No. Have I rewatched them and enjoyed them? I found what I have. Whatever.
Yes.
The thing is Star Wars is interesting because it's not really anything you can reboot. They've established it for so long as a linear continuing story.
Especially the movies.
Yeah. And I mean, like, okay, I take that back. They rebooted it when Disney bought it, but they didn't reboot any film or anything like that. So I feel like it's been established as something you're not just gonna like start over with. We're not gonna get a new. We're never gonna get a New Hope again, right? Maybe eventually, but who knows?
Well, at least not in that way.
Yeah. So I am just learning to accept that episode 7, 8, and 9 are episode 7, 8, and 9, and I can revisit them as often or as little as I want to. Right?
Well, and that's what I was saying is that I said positive. There was no this movie sucks.
Yeah.
It was. When I left Force Awakens, I felt positive going into the future, and it was an exciting moment because when
first one, no doubt.
When the prequels came out,
Force Awakens, no doubt.
When the prequels came out, we didn't know how it was going to happen, but we knew exactly what it was going to lead to.
Yes,
we knew Vader, Anakin.
You
Leia.
knew Episode 3 ends with
Anakin
not being Anakin.
But for the first time with Force Awakens, we had no idea where Star Wars was going. No, not first time, but since the original trilogy.
Well, it's since the movie
no
came
idea.
out, especially because they established everything was now Legends.
Yes.
So it was not
we had
continuity.
No idea where it was going to go.
Yeah.
So when the sequel came out, Last Jedi, it was like, okay. It didn't really line up to what we expected, I think. And I think there was a lot of backlash between this is awesome versus this really sucked. And it was like, upon further review, I think it's a good movie. I enjoy the nuances in that we are taking Star Wars in a different direction. Yet at the same time, not really. A lot of the same things happen.
I mean,
I do love how literally Rian Johnson foretells, hey, I'm going to go out and fight with a laser sword and defeat them. And it's like, that's exactly what happened. Yeah. I love that part of it. But there's a lot of that movie where it's like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Like I said, I feel the same way. And I will say, no matter if I, continue with Star Wars, don't continue with Star Wars, like, I do believe that, like, that right there, those 3 movies was the biggest fumble in my memory that Disney has done, especially because at that point, Marvel was firing on all cylinders.
Huge.
And everything was perfect and everything was lining up and they had a plan for everything. So it blows my mind that when they purchased Star Wars, the first thing they didn't do, because the mold had not been broken at that point.
Right.
We did 3 movies that connected, and that was the Star Wars formula. There were nothing else.
We literally had an outline for all 3 movies.
Because Rogue One hadn't come out yet.
No, that was that was after Force Awakens.
But like that was the first time it's like, whoa, this isn't technically episode 7 or whatever. So it just blows my mind that they went in to create episode 7 and did not have anything lined out for 8 or 9, like at least in stone.
Exactly.
Like
and I'm not
like a general outline at least. beast.
I am very
Wild,
much with Brandon
wild.
that I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I love every single thing about Star Wars. There's just certain things that are like, okay.
You could have done it better.
So Lucas gave them his outline, and I'm not saying you need to follow Lucas. I get it, whatever. You're trying to distance
But it
yourself.
was something.
But the things that I've heard that he was going to discuss or take on was with the absence of the Empire, the Black Sun comes in and they fill that void with Darth Maul. Talk about if you like the way Darth Maul came back, I don't care. But have him be now this presence without the Empire. And we have Cora?
Cord Jade.
No, the girl, Daenerys.
Oh, Kira. Yeah.
Kira. You have Kira with Darth Maul sort of running this
Doing
whatever.
something with it, right? Like,
And not necessarily it would be her because this was before Solo came out, but
Yeah.
whatever. So I think people even forget that Colin Trevorrow was supposed to write and direct the third trilogy, the third
Yeah.
sequel in there. And then he got fired. So who knows what he came up with. And then last minute, they come back to JJ and were like, can you do this? And even after Last Jedi, and given what was going on, it was like, okay, this can still be great.
yeah.
Because you can
And
still
to be
do
honest
things.
with you, I don't even think the problem is The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I think the problem is Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
Because if you even would have let him go with what he had planned, at least that would have finished that kind of linear thought.
Yeah.
Because Rise of Skywalker just felt like because the reception was so mixed, they backtracked and then tried to course correct.
Exactly.
And it's like, you've already done things that you should have just let this ride out.
Yes.
I mean, because he was going to introduce what is it, the Aya Webbish bog, right? What's the on Mustafar?
Oh,
The
citizens?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but yes.
But there was a whole thing that they were gonna kind of go with, with Kylo Ren being more Sith heavy.
And that's what he came out and confirmed, that there was never going to be an Adam Driver, Kylo Ren redemption arc. It was he was going to become more evil and more.
But it was like they were so just like, oh no, everyone's yelling at it. We'll just do Return to Jedi again, essentially, and give him the Vader arc. And I do have to say though, I mean, when it finishes, whatever, I love good, bad, and different. I love the scene when all of the other Jedi are talking to Rey. I don't give a shit what you feel about it. That scene fucking rules.
I love the scene again where Poe is like, oh my God, I suck. I led all these people here and now we're all going to die.
Yeah.
And Lando, but you're not alone. And every fucking ship in the universe that
shows up. Like,
and you got Ghost, you got the Millennium Falcon, you got Wedge Antilles. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I was here for all that.
Oh, that was awesome. But again, they didn't have a plan. But they felt like, oh, well, we got to keep it a trilogy. Why? There's no rules. Oh, we got to keep this timeline. Why? You own the goddamn thing.
I think we're getting to that now, but it blows my mind to this day that you just didn't have 3 mapped out.
Yeah.
It was 3. We didn't have anything else going on.
And like you said, Marvel, like this didn't comprehend to me until I went back and rewatched it several years ago. They clearly had a plan.
Exactly.
When I first saw it,
clearly
I thought it was an accident. Like literally was like, oh wow, everything fell into place. How nice. But then when I go back and like, holy shit, they introduced Thanos so early. Like I totally don't remember that. Oh my God, they had breadcrumbs leading to what it would be.
He was in the background for such a long time that you at least were familiar with what he looked like by the time he shows up.
Exactly. The ultimate tease. Like,
and I mean, he has a role in Guardians. Like they did it correctly. Yeah. And it just blows my mind that like you bought Star Wars. And it's not, like I said, it wasn't even like, it wasn't even like they didn't think about it. It's like, that was the only mold you had.
Yeah.
3 movie installments. And they were just like, let's do one and fucking wing it.
Well, and okay, so they're going to follow that pattern, but they don't follow the George Lucas pattern where it's like, oh my God, Phantom Menace suck. Fuck off. I'm going to make Attack of the Clones the way I want to.
Yeah, he was like,
oh, you don't like that one? Fuck off.
I'm just going to do whatever I want.
Yeah. What do I care? It said, like you said, Disney's like, oh my God, they didn't like Last Jedi, so we're going to change things up.
Because I almost think if you would have let him do it the way he wanted to, you would have people that over time be like, well, it didn't go how I wanted it to. But I mean, you're always going to have the people that are pissed off about Luke, no matter what. But it's crazy to hear them come out and say, like, what was the other one? Daisy Ridley said she was supposed to be Obi-Wan's daughter.
It kept changing. Like there was talk that she was going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi's daughter. There was talk she was going to be directly related to Luke somehow, and that Palpatine really didn't happen until they were pitching the third movie, and not even like pre-production, like, hey, we got a script, we're thinking about this, but like as it was going, it was like
that,
what
honestly, if you would have just done that, that's the redemption arc. She was born. She's the grandchild of the most evil person to ever exist. And now she's going to save the whole world. Like, that's a redemption arc. You didn't need to.
And I will totally give, that's a good point, but I will totally give props and an asterisk that with Carrie Fisher's death, that fucked everything up. And that,
I will say, that's the hardest part of that movie, is being like that. That was so like,
as we get older, obviously we live through more and more celebrity deaths, people that we idolize and look up to and really like, oh my God, I love what this person did. But Carrie Fisher, I don't often cry. When she passed away, I cried because I was like, oh my God, we lost an amazing person and we lost our Princess Leia.
100%. And that, like, that just, I think, added to just the general messiness of what we ended up getting with that. But here's another quick note. Even if you fucking hate those movies, even if you wish somebody would have done this way or that way or whatever, they are just fucking actors and don't deserve to have anything
like nothing from the prequels with like Jar Jar Binks.
Like, just guess what? If you don't like it, that's fine. That's also not them directing the movie and choosing what they say and what their character does. So calm the fuck down on that.
Nowadays, go to a different medium. Go to Disney Plus and watch one of the awesome shows that's on there. Go read one of the comic books.
Just watch the first 3 movies over and over and over and over.
Exactly. You don't need to hammer people. Jesus Christ. But there might be a bright spot.
Okay.
There is a bright spot. We're going to start a new year. It's a bright spot.
It is.
Dave Filoni seems to be now officially in charge of Star Wars. Say what you want. At least he has the passion that George Lucas had.
I'm telling you right now, look, that man, just take my hand, lead me away. I'm here for the ride with it, whatever you have planned. Time will tell if it ends up being amazing or not amazing, but I'm here for it.
And he seems to know the universe. I don't know if you've ever seen the behind the scenes making of like The Mandalorian, the first season. The shit he references, and I can't remember what he's even talking about, but he brings something up and Jon Favreau goes, I don't remember that. And Filoni goes, no, it was this minute in this movie and this is like, I'm a Star Wars nerd.
It's a religion to him.
Oh my God.
It's a religion to him.
Yeah, so he like knows this world slightly less than George Lucas.
I'm going into it the same way I go into the Marvel movies. Yes. I'm here. I've been wanting this my whole life. I want more and more and more. And if it gets not fun, then that's where I get off the train. But
we'll go,
for
like
now,
you said, go watch the stuff you like.
Exactly.